Hello and welcome back to Game 2 of the FSL Open, where we just saw Meh versus Run It Down. Run It Down had a great game early on, but then Meh would just beat them when it came to high ground push. Now we're going to go to the lower bracket. We'll see how far Run It Down can go. They're going against 4DAgang, who's also lost their match. I'm Atomo, joining me is Harry Freak. How are you feeling, Harry Freak? How was the break?
The break was fine. Pretty much the same as right now, you and me talking to each other. I just couldn't see your face, so that was the downside of it, but still quite nice, looking forward to the games. When coming into the tournament, I didn't know what to expect. I kind of read a little bit about the teams, but I didn't know how good they were, so I was pretty nicely surprised about what we saw in the previous game. I really liked how Run It Down played their draft, even though it was weird. They did a solid job, and I would tell anyone who hasn't watched that game to actually go back and watch the video, because that was pretty cool to see. And I want to see now how they do in the lower bracket. It's gonna be under pressure. Will they play with the same flair, or will they just kick it back a notch?
Well, before we go to the graph, I want to make sure everyone knows what's going on. This is the Dota 2 FSL wildcard. The winner here qualifies to the elite. They'll be joining 3 other teams where they compete for a $5,000 Singaporean dollar prize pool. It's an all-women tournament featuring women from Southeast Asia as well as the Oceanic regions. And I think the draft is actually underway, so we can go into that and see what we're working with. I definitely agree with you that Run It Down I love the draft that they went with. I can't say I love it. I love that it was unique. I can't say I really loved the Ricky 5, but at least it was unique. It was exciting to watch. You don't see that every day. In the meantime, though, Run It Down, they banned the Bristleback. I believe they banned it in game 1 as well. Whereas for the gang, they banned the Coddle. Coddle seemed like he was a lot more popular before. Now it's kind of a little bit more sporadic. We don't see him in every game like we used to.
It's always gonna be that way. I feel like with the coddle, the hero comes in, suddenly the clock works, the spirit starts being played, the hero gets taken away, people forget about the spirits a little bit, he comes back, and so on and so forth. That is I guess something that the hero is gonna have to deal with. In competitive games, the hero is not as powerful as in pubs, because in pubs, if you are unsure of how to deal with him, if you don't have multiple heroes just to jump him, you're gonna be in trouble. In competitive games, where we are right now, where it is the hero is not that strong, but 4DAgang seems like they don't want to be playing against it.
And they also get rid of the key of the puck as well. So they just like Q was tiny last game, played more of as a core, carry tiny from the mid lane. We saw Last of the Wilds go for the magic gyro in the which is a bit weird as a carry gyro. We usually see the physical damage, but no, she went for the ethereal blade, the veil, the shard. And for the gang, they start with Marcy. Hey, this is a hero we don't see very often, right, Harry Freak?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So the Marcy comes out, the cute helper of the Princess of the Moon. We saw the Mirana in the previous game for Run It Down. Let's see if they're gonna be using it against the Marcy, and can she actually raise her hand, her very strong hand? It doesn't look that way, but this girl can punch. So let's see if Run It Down will be going for the Mirana yet again. As far as I remember, they did pick it in the first phase. No, actually, the first phase was the Gyro and the Ricky.
Yeah, it was Gyro and Ricky because I believe because Matt took the Mirana in their opening pick.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. Let's see what Run Down is going to go with. They banned the Dawnbreaker. Last game kind of ran through with that. However, to be completely fair, for the gang, not quite the same level as the previous as Meh was, at least in terms of what publicly is revealed. So we'll see if Run Down. Oh, there you go. They do take Mirana first. And who did they pair it up with? They paired up with the Shadow. Oh my God! It's 2015. It is. This is this SD Mirana combo from 2015.
I know you want to be nostalgic before the world went to shit, but no, it's 2022. I'm sorry to take it away from you. Yeah, we all know that the world went to shit because this combo wasn't played as much later on, but yeah, they're bringing it back, so it might actually fix all of our problems. The Jugger comes out. Marcy and the Juggernaut, that already feels like a formidable lane, but when it comes to killing, Run It Down, they are ready.
However, there's a couple of things that also have changed. Since 2000, in the last 7 years, a couple of things have changed. One of them is that we don't see tri-lanes very often. Before we would see like the Shadi Mirana as a combo because they tri-lane with someone else, but now it's like Shadi and Mirana. Maybe they'll be able to couple of times rotate together in the same lane, but they won't be holding hands like they used to. And I will say that if you are going up against this combo, Juggernaut and Marcy are fantastic to have. Juggernaut can spin to block the arrow if anyone else is caught. Marcy, if someone gets stunned with the arrow, you can just toss them away. So I like the opening by Run It Down, but I think 4DAgang already countered it pretty well.
I mean, if you're the Mirana, I'm pretty sure you can do better than hold hands with the Shadow Demon. Just so many other beautiful heroes in Dota. I'd guess you'd skip out on this demon guy.
Yeah, he's dateable. Look at him; he's got a red head. He's got chains. I guess maybe he chains you down. You can't run away from him. You're like, all right, I guess I'm dating him. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so if you were gonna date, let's play. If you're gonna date any guy, any guy from Dota, who would you date?
Dire team ban.
Pretty sure my girlfriend is gonna be watching the stream,
Yes,
so I'm
that's for her.
gonna skip the question.
Oh man!
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Now you're leaving me hang. Fine,
Radiant
fine.
team ban.
So it's Slardar probably. That's why you don't want to say like the shape of water. In the meantime, time, those Slardar does get banned, and 4DAgang they ban out a couple of carries here, the Medusa and the PA. PA can jump away from the Juggernaut during Omni Slash, makes it a very hard target. And Medusa's general is just
10
very
seconds
tanky. And 4DAgang, they look like they're not going to go for mana burn. Juggernaut
5
can get
seconds
Diffusal,
remaining.
but not like the
Dire
Anti-Mage.
team ban.
No Invoker mid. And Nyx Assassin is just not a hero right now.
They banned out the Storm here. So considering you have a Shadow Demon Mirana, I kind of feel like you do have okay catch for the Storm, and the hero just isn't that powerful right now.
Agreed.
But considering that Run It Down are constantly running into their enemy's face, maybe they don't want to be running into
5
Remnants. It is
seconds
quite a lot of damage that you have to deal with. But Storm Spirit isn't really that big of a hero right now.
I agree. It is a little bit interesting to see sort of Run It Down being like, yeah, we don't want to go, but possibly 4DAgang RR could be just an amazing Storm Spirit player. So they're like, yeah, we just don't want to deal with that. So that would be fair for them.
Radiant team
And we are down. And there you go. Anti-Mage comes out as the last man. So 4DAgang really targeting Last of the Wilds with this. They just do not want her to have a carry she's comfortable with. Run It Down. They're going for the Spirits, though. They realize that they're locked down. But I know you said it's pretty good, but to be honest, getting the Shadow Demon Disruption can be a bit difficult, especially if these guys have a Lincoln Sphere.
There'll be some time before that one, but yeah, sure, Run It Down. What's it gonna be? They did get rid of the spirits here, Slardar being banned out. I guess the Anti-Mage ban came because of the Slardar ban, though, Anti-Mage not really the best of heroes right now. They go for the Shadow Shaman. You talked about the core Mirana. This might be the one that we're seeing, so might see a Shadow Demon Mirana lane, a Shadow Shaman Mirana lane. Both of those can work, and both of those are really good setups for the arrow.
Yeah, this is a bit weird. And Mars comes out. Look at 4DAgang. They got all the beefy boys. Grimstroke comes out. That's just not much of a combo, right? What's it? Can you even double what you call it? Dispose? Because I don't know. The Mars and Juggernaut give you nothing. I'm not sure if you can double dispose or not. I don't think I've seen that. But all right. Lots of good control for 4DAgang. Lots of mobility, rebound, Inkswell. Tanky boys.
5 seconds
Liking the draft a lot from 4DAgang right now.
Well, in my mind, it's the kind of draft that can always play Dota. You
Yes.
have strong lanes, you have solid spells, you have solid team fight. Even if you fall behind, there's a good chance that you can get a kill with the spear into Inkswell or spin Inkswell or whatever.
got a couple
So
of heals.
I'm liking the draft. The problem I see with this draft, if you fall behind and you actually can't get the kill or the Shadow Demon saves someone, that is when you know that you're in trouble. So that is with drafts like this, sometimes your spirit can be crushed even though the game might not be over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I fully agree. I see the Shadow Demon save, like that's another thing that I was thinking about. Like, man, the Omni Slash should be really bad, but you have other stuff as well. Like, I do think 4DAgang
10
has
seconds
just so much going for them. They have the Juggernaut heal. Grimstroke can provide a heal with the shard as well as a dispel.
remaining.
You can look at Run It Down. They do have a lot of lockdown though. Like, look at it. All of them have some sort of stun or disable. That is kind of scary. And 4DAgang save is not amazing. It's decent. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about these two drafts at all. Like, looking at them, For the gang has a very
Team
standard
back.
draft. Run it down has at least a core Shadow Shaman, core Mirana, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and the Magnus isn't the best of heroes right now, but it's
No.
definitely gonna be fun to see. These girls came to play. They came to give entertainment. It seems like victory
seconds
isn't
remaining.
like on top of their priority list. It's more about having fun, and I like that approach. You know, it's there is some money on the line, there is some prestige on the line, but at the end of the day, again, repeating it, Dota is about having fun, and that's what they are doing there. We even saw one of Kuro's interviews in
Yes.
a very recent LAN where he said, you know, this is still a game, and that is how you should sometimes do it, and you want to have fun, and that is definitely the case here for the side of Run It Down, because they're playing some really unconventional heroes in drafts.
It's. Did you ever see the movie Gladiator?
The old one?
Yes, the old one.
Yes.
I remember that the guy who gets his freedom, he said, I didn't get the freedom because I was the best fighter or the strongest killer or something. He's like, I got my freedom awarded to me because I was the guy who entertained the crowds the most, and that's why I got my freedom. So yeah, Run It Down. They're going with that gladiator mindset of we gotta entertain the viewers, which I like. I appreciate a lot. You cast a lot of Dota, you see the same 5 drafts every time. Oh, it's Marcy Zeus in this game. How nice for the 5th time of the day. So Run It Down. Love it, Core Mirana, Core Shadow Shaman, Core sign me up, Let's keep it going.
Yeah, I do guess that's the way us as viewers or casters, we are exploiting Dota players for our entertainment. So you could look at them as modern gladiators, and the Viper comes out for the gang. They're coming to play. To be honest, if I'm this Magnus, I'm hating my life right now, and I'd rather just play in the safe lane.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they put the Magnus. 'Cause I was thinking they might put the Magnus off lane and carry Mirana. They know it's gonna be the carry Morphling. I'm gonna go with. That's my guess. It's going to be the off lane Magnus. It's going to be a mid Morphling. It's going to be the carry Mirana and the 4 Shadow Shaman, the 5 Shadow Demon. So I got confused a little bit. For the gang, they're going to go with. Actually, I'm like, look at who the hell is July. So we're going to stroke 5. Going to be the 4 on the Marcy. Nothing crazy. Mid Viper, I'm assuming. All right. Mid Viper versus mid Morphling should be okay for the Morphling. Not too bad.
They picked the Morphling into the Viper, so they probably know what they're doing. Q was probably given a choice. What do you want to play against this one? It's not gonna be an easy matchup either way. Morphling, the hero, doesn't die that easily, and does have a lot of damage to work with. So at least in terms of CS, can match the Viper. The safe lane Mirana, Last of the Wilds, really likes her cool heroes.
Yes.
Magic damage builds. We're probably gonna be seeing a Aghanim Subterraneous build. I don't see the right click build on the Mirana really being viable ever since they changed the shard. I would assume no one would want to go for a right click Mirana build.
Yeah, the hero is just she lost too much from that shard pick, and the new one is kind of awkward to use as hell. Trying to sort of jump in. Look at that Shadow Demon win rate though, 18-2. The last 20 games. That's a 90% win rate. Very impressive. In the meantime, for the gang, they go for Viper. Viper, Marcy, all the standard heroes. I'm much more into Run It Down's draft. I'm gonna go for them just because of their unconventional draft. And they proved themselves in game 1. They lost, but that doesn't matter so much as they played really well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Run It Down here as well. I think even in the previous game, they've shown that they're the better team out of the two. Sure, it's a best of 1, you lose it, but I think if it was a best of 3, they probably would have come out as the winners. It is a weird draft, but there is a lot of chance to outplay your opponents, and if they played these heroes as well as they played the ones in the last game, just to be a little bit more patient when going onto the high ground, I have a lot of belief in these girls.
Same here for sure. In the meantime, though, for the gang, they do have a pretty easy to execute lineup, just solid all over. So they have a solid shot as well. But I like this Morphling last pick. I generally do not like Morphling, though. I think Morphling is kind of in a trashy spot right now. But in this game, he counters all 3 lanes. Like you can put him in any lane and he'll be fine. So I kind of like that part about the Morphling. Plus, in the previous game, we saw Q play the Tiny. He tried to play tempo, then switched to the sort of being the carry here from Morphling. He backed up. I'll just be farming the whole game and then
The
just carry you
battle
guys to victory.
begins.
I'm just thinking, is there any build that you can go on the Morphling other than the Dragonlance, Yasha, BKB, you know, the right-click build? And because if there is, run it down. We're probably going to try it, though I don't see it. The E-Blade on the Morphling just doesn't work any longer. So I'm thinking we're just going to be seeing the classic right-click build with the Magnus and Power coming into play. That's going to be a lot of damage. You know, Morphling is probably the best range hero to benefit from the Magnus and Power.
That for sure. I was thinking actually there is one reason you could go for E-Blade, which is that if people get Omni Slash, you can just E-Blade them and remove all that damage. So that might be something that Q thinks about, but time will tell. So top lane is going to be the Shadow Shaman and the Magnus. Oh dear, missed that one completely. Sorry.
No problem. You're not the observer. Our observers are amazing. They're gonna be giving us info immediately. So that's a really smart move from Run It Down to just run into the Viper. It is gonna be an offlane Viper though. They put a Mars against the Morphling, and it does make sense. You know, the Viper will be annoying you anyways. So if you run it at him level 1, it might actually give you the kill, and it works out for Run It Down for now.
Yeah, although Last of the Wild's taking a few right clicks here bottom lane. Needs to wait for his friend to show up before he can actually really sort of handle the lane. Top lane, yeah, I am a big fan of the Shadow Shaman. I do think this hero is underused right now. We'll see if the fall proves me right or if I look like a fool again. But yeah, how do you feel about the hero? You like it?
I like it. I think with, you know, Puck being popular, the Spirits being popular, that should immediately mean that the Shadow Shaman and the Lion should be popular as well. I'm seeing more and more Lion, but the Shadow Shaman has been underutilized. Here, obviously, we don't see that many mobile heroes, but even the Juggernaut himself doesn't like playing against the Hex.
And I do like the Shackles, gives you so much healing now as well. So even if like the Juggernaut tries to spin on you, if you can Shackle someone else, you'll be fine just because the healing is so... It's absurd how much Shackles heals you at max level. Just insane. In the meantime, Mirana taking a little bit of hits, but she'll be fine overall.
Other than the fight on the bottom lane,
Oh,
we
Nada?
haven't seen much action.
Nada's gonna lose her life.
Nice arrow connects there, and with the double Starstorm, they're actually going for Kami. Kami will die first, Nada loses her life, but July versus Last of the Wilds. Last of the Wilds kills the Courier. July with only being level 2. Not that much damage from the poison attack, so very nicely done there. Riza on the top lane was in a bit of trouble, has the healing ward that's gonna keep her alive, but we can see that Run It Down are starting to apply pressure on both the top and the bottom lane.
I think that was a Shackle skewer into the tower. Oh, and Riza feeds away that healing ward. That's a big deal, actually. Fallen. Ooh, so close.
The tower isn't attacking Riza though. But in the end, she decides it's a smart move to right-click the enemies under the tower. Immediately loses her life. Sure, you get the kill on the Fallen X in the end. Bottom lane, Nada gonna be surviving there with the disruption. Last little while, doing some damage with the right clicks, and the arrow will be perfect. Just into the back of the Marcy, betraying her loyal subject there. That is not a princess that you want to be working for.
By the way, I'm not sure I like what July is doing. She doesn't have a magic stick. Despite the fact that you are playing up against the Shadow Demon, you kind of want the magic stick very early. You know, we know Shadow Demon loves stacking that Shadow Poison, so that magic stick, you're kind of not getting any benefit out of that. So that might be something she really needs to consider getting as soon as she can. Courier is alive, but yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, that's weird. It is weird, especially Viper being a mana-hungry hero. The sticks from the Shadow Demon would really help you deal with that, and you wouldn't really have any mana issues if you had the stick. Obviously, the HP is nice, but when you're going for a stick early on, you're usually thinking about it bringing back mana to you.
I mean, both of them are good, right? Like, you can at least get both. Oh, well. And can they get the real one? Arrow comes out, lands on Kami.
Yeah, Kami gets an arrow to the face. Now, double Starstorm not gonna be happening because no mana on the Last of the Wilds, and Nada, even with a very nice arrow, is not gonna be surviving. July is on a killing spree. And, you know, even though you are doing some damage to the Marcy, maybe even killing her, this Viper is getting quite a lot from the lane in terms of kills. In terms of CS, though, definitely struggling.
What's happening in the mid lane? We haven't actually talked about the mid lane at all. It's Morphling versus Mars, the classic, right? This is the classic matchup, which we never see, maybe once in a full moon. Q level 5, looks like Rosema is gonna be level 5 as well. Both will hit 6 fairly soon, and at that point, I do think that it's on the Mars to make moves. You know, Morphling's not really gonna show up and do a lot for the team.
I'm not sure what you do as a Mars in this lane. Sure, you're gonna be okay with the CS. The Mars always is. Has good animation, 2 spells to secure the creeps. While we're talking about the mid lane, Kami dies again, and 4DAgang might be losing their off lane as well. Nah, not gonna be happening. But the thing is, if the Mars rotates, the tower is just gone. You're up against the Morphling. This hero packs a punch. So I'm not sure what the approach is. Maybe you bring in the supports to try to kill the Morphling, but then again, it is just not that easy of a kill.
There is one thing. The Morphling is full agi, so if she could time it really well, you know, like you throw the spear and you throw the arena just as the spear is about to land, you might be able to kill the Morphling. They might be trying this, though. There is a smoked up 4DAgang. Kami smoke breaks. They know, and whatever was going to happen is not going to happen.
Nada gets the disruption, the banish will be there, and guess what? There's 3 Marcies now, though 2 of them are really mad at the original, and they want to punch her, they want to show they can be just as strong, but Kami will not give them that satisfaction. On the top lane, we see the spin, we see the ink swell, but no heroes in the vicinity to be on the receiving end of those 2 damaging spells, and 4DAgang will not get anything on the top lane in terms of kills.
But this Viper absolutely, look at the denies coming out from Mirana. 14 denies. These aren't going to be jungle denies. These are 14 denies on the creeps, and you can see like Viper's absolutely suffering right now.
Riza, top lane, spin in a few seconds, would like to get on top of Stranger, but nah, the Magnus will be okay. 4DAgang at least applying pressure here in the top lane, considering they have these 2 very powerful heroes. Ideally you would want to get a kill, but even if the Magnus is afraid not being able to get close to the creature, you're gonna be happy with it.
Yeah, it's all okay. Honestly, it's looking pretty good for Run It Down right now. And 4DAgang, we'll have to wait and see. I'm just looking at the Mars, seeing what he's gonna do, because I don't think you want to have the Mars just farm. You know, like if Mars farms and the Morphling farms, you're very happy if you're Morphling.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, that's gonna be the case. We'll see what the Mars wants to take. Will he go for an early blink? Will he go for an armlet? There's multiple ways that you can build on this one. Oh, they see Ano. Fallen X plays that ward. If Wycool Stranger wants to come over, they can definitely kill this Grimstroke, and they are preparing for it. Wycool Stranger acting like they don't see anything, and now Ano is in a very, very aggressive position. Wycool Stranger can pull him. Okay, missed it there. What the hell, for sure. Ano, the Inkswell does connect. The Fallen X is still full. It's not looking like this is gonna result in a kill. Moonlight Shadow is used as well. They are not being seen. They're hiding in the shadows, and they will find Ano and smack her into the ground. Riza, nothing that she can do. She just feeds away the healing ward. So on top of that kill, they're gonna get 75 gold as well.
This game, I know it's very early, it's only 1k advantage, but this is actually kind of looking disastrous. Remember, you have a Viper who's not farming, and the enemy team is just getting kills in pretty strong lanes. Grimstroke, Juggernaut, they can't get kills. Bottom lane, they got the Viper, Marcy, they're losing that lane. It is quite scary for the gang right now. And again, I'm looking at Rosema on the Mars. I'm wondering, what are you doing? Like, you need to get moving here.
Arrow, not gonna connect. Last of the Wilds missed that one. Now he's gonna be getting poison attacks to him. The ulti from the Viper flies out as well. Last of the Wilds needs to be careful. A lot of magic damage being thrown her way. But in the end, with a nice leap to the side, she does survive. They're not setting up with the disruption. Nada is just afraid to go aggressively there because she understands just how much damage the Viper can do to her in small amounts of time.
It's fine. Like, you don't have to always be killed. Although Nada, that might be a bit much. Arrow comes out. Kami might lose her life. Nada, nice disruption, but still dead.
July gets another kill, but then again, so does Last of the Wilds. The spin. Oh, there's gonna be an RP just to remove the Jugger away from herself. The Omni Slash Riza doesn't have enough mana, and the creeps were in the vicinity anyway, so it probably wouldn't have amounted to much even if she had. Now approaching aggressively onto. There's the Omni Slash. This is gonna be enough damage. This Magnus, he has a bracer. The Stroke of Fate will not gonna get away from me. She pushes her away. The Jugger though, she wants the kill. The spin is gonna be there. Can they get on top of White Cool Stranger? Yes, they can. The Fallen X is here though. Reza needs to be careful with the tower doing the damage, but the silence is there. Ano, he sends the Phantom's Embrace to save
Q's here.
her teammate. Ano, in a bit of trouble. Will she get drowned? No, the Inkswell there with the movement speed will protect her, and Morphling, even without rotation, will not bring anything. The bottom lane though, with an arrow into the hand, into the head of that Viper. We all know how you kill snakes. You cut off their head.
This game is alright. This is some action. I'm surprised. Like Juggernaut really brought there just now. Reza with that dive on getting the kill on the Magnus. Very well played. Perfect spin. Realizing that Shaman was there, she's like, let me just spin early. Some players would like to hold it for some unfathomable reason, but no, she knows exactly how to play the hero. And looking at net worth, it is a lot more even. Yes, the top two are running down, but Mars not behind, and the Magnus, he's actually suffering more than July, who at least has 4 kills to her name. By the way, I'm not a big fan of what Magnus is doing. She's going to go for the Echo Saber, so that means it's going to be a very late Blink Dagger, and I feel like you already have a farming Morphling, so Mirana kind of needs someone to really help her out. Do you think it's okay that she's going for Echo Saber, or am I just tripping?
I mean, I would have preferred the Blink for sure. I don't think it's that big of a deal considering the enemies don't have a very strong Viper.
Yeah.
They're not going to be applying that much pressure. If the Viper was super strong, I would argue that you would definitely need to skewer her back to get the kills. But in this kind of scenario, you can get away with the greed. It still isn't ideal in my mind.
I agree. I do think that if there's one game where you can go like Echo Saber, not really be too punished by it, this is definitely the game for it. You know, you also have good setup with the disruption. You also have the Shadow Shaman holding people. Like, you don't really need the Blink Dagger that early, but I would have definitely feel like they could take way more team fights with it. Juggernaut's coming.
They got the arrow onto July, but nah, that movement speed is just insane. Kami dispose onto Nada. They're gonna be starting the punches. The unleash is there. They want to unleash the power onto the face of this Shadow Demon. Girls definitely don't like him. I was right there, because this one, she just wants to punch him in the face, but it doesn't matter because the Mirana, it seems like she fancies him, will be enough there to get the kill just with the right clicks. The Inkswell will connect on the top lane as well. The Magnus has been caught trying to get himself away. The RP, no, you don't use it here, because it would still end up in you dying. The Magnus can't go through the walls, even being a big rhinoceros. You can see that those walls are built strong. Arrow connects onto the bottom lane with the disruption, trying to get a kill, but it's only level 1 arrow. Smarana trying to get a kill, right clicks are kicking in, and in the end, it will ultimately result in the Viper dying, but the poison finishes off the Shadow Demon as well.
No leads.
Last of the Wilds, some trouble as well, but the Fallen X is here. You gotta drop down the wards, but where are your shackles? Fallen X just miscalculates a little bit, and the Marcy waves away as she survives a very aggressive play coming out from Run It Down.
I play a ton of Shadow Shaman, one of my favorite heroes. I can tell you something, level 1 Hex is not enough time to Hex, Serpent Ward, Shackle someone. Like the cast animation is too long, you need to get level 2 Hex to do that. So the fact that Fallen X kind of, I don't want to say fumbled that, but because you know that can happen to anyone, but that means that Fallen X maybe not the most comfortable hero with the Shadow Shaman ever. I was looking at her record, yeah, not a hero who plays a lot of Shadow Shaman. In the meantime, though, it is a 2-for-2 trade all over the map. You know, they at top they killed Shadow Shaman Magnus, bottom they lost to July as well as Kami.
Mirana is actually going for the right click build. The Diffusal Blade will be the item she's going for. Having the Ring of Health, I'm guessing at some point she might actually turn it into a Lincoln Sphere, though for now that's probably not going to be the case. In my mind, the physical damage Mirana does not work. Though then again, the magic damage carry Gyro doesn't work too well, and they almost made it work in the previous game. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see just how much Mirana can
nice
do.
jump by bottom lane.
Yep, Rosima jumps in with the nice spear, and the Fallen X shouldn't be surviving this one away. They even used the dust preemptively, just scared the potential Moonlight Shadow, which, speaking about it, it just came off cooldown, so there was pretty much no chance of Last of the Wilds using that one to save his buddy.
Well, they look like they might be trading towers, and Rosma, she's still getting online. She does have the blink dagger now, also has the phase boost coming out for her as well. So I like this a lot. In the meantime, Q on the Morphling, number 1 2% of net worth, but not too far behind the Juggernaut, who has been way more active. This Morphling has not been involved in any kill, whereas Juggernaut has been gotten 5 for his team and 1 death. So a lot more space being made by the Juggernaut. And yeah, I like that a lot. We'll see what how the game shapes up here. Smoke on for the gang. Mars as well as Viper and Kami on the Marcy. Bomb lane. They might go mid lane here. This could be a good fight for them.
Morphling is playing aggressively, but the double silence will be there. Stroke of Fate, they need Inkswell as well. It's gonna come out a little bit late, but in the backline, the arena was used. The Morphling, he gets the Morph off, he's not dying, but they kill the Shadow Shaman immediately. He get the wards off with the waveform, he gets himself away. No one wants to follow a tsunami wave, no matter how good you are at surfing. It's not gonna end up well for you, and Kami just gets some stars dropping out down from the sky. It's gonna be a 1-for-1 as you mentioned it, but the Serpent wards used far away from the tower. It is a question if Run It Down can finish it off. Pulls the Mars back, but gets a speared back. Doesn't want to be fighting that Magnus. He knows just how powerful he can be. Last of the Wilds has the leap, removes the signs, but this is still gonna be enough. Nice disruption. It's gonna be saving her for time. But the Inkswell is pretty much ravaged. The RP onto the ground. That ground is gonna be stunned so much, but you're in the river. You're in Morphling's territory, and you're gonna get the drown. The Jugger, he might be good with a blade, but he needs to take some swimming lessons if he wants to fight this Morph.
It didn't matter in the end though. Yes, they lost the Juggernaut, who sort of went in, but they were able to kill me. 2 cores as well as the Shadow Demon. I saw the RP come out last second, but looked very ineffective. And July, how much damage did July do? July did a ton of damage in that fight, and definitely one of the big winners there. Just standing behind, dishing all her damage out. Has the Vanguard as well, so she's kind of tanky. Not a big fan of the Wraith Pact in this game. You are up against Mirana Morphling. Like, these 2 heroes hit very fast, so I do think the damage, like, it won't live long enough. Bottom lane though.
The leap is gonna be stopped. They take her back immediately. And now the Inkswell is gonna be there. Last of the Wilds will most definitely die here, standing her ground to fight. Gets the leap away finally. And now the healing ward is gonna be there, saving Gano as well. The Fallen X in a little bit of trouble. Nada comes over, but the question is, who can you actually save? Sure, you get the disruption of the Fallen X will die anyways. White Cool Stranger got inside of the arena. You will stay and you will fight. You will fight until death. White Cool Stranger though, she doesn't feel that way and wants to run away. That's what she's gonna be doing. The silence of the Morph, she doesn't get the Morph off, which means she's gonna be going down. Last of the Wilds, no leaps. And here's the spear Juggernaut. The arrow, the spear misses just barely. Those leaps coming off cooldown at the perfect times, twice in a row for the Mirana, saving her life but costing her team quite a lot.
The fact that Magnus does not have a blink dagger is so heavily punished in this game. Like, you can see she actually has to screw her top lane. She's like, I need to get all the creeps I can as soon as I can, because this blink dagger has not having his cost them. She just cannot jump into these fights. There's so much flying around, so many slow strokes of fate, nether toxin, arenas, like everything's flying out. She just can't do anything. So hopefully the blink dagger will fix that for them, because it needs to be fixed. This is a big problem.
Yeah, it is a big problem. You don't have initiation. Sure, you have the disruption into arrow, but usually those disruptions are used defensively for the gang. July is in an aggressive position, and the supports are in the vicinity. Kami thinking about going in. The Hex is gonna be there. Sure, you don't have a blink, but if Ano just runs into your face and eats an arrow, it's still gonna be good enough, and that's a freebie, but still. An aggressive move, and killing a support there isn't really gonna give you much in terms of map control.
Anna went for the shard first on the Grimstroke. Love this. But unfortunately, she only has a level 1 Inkswell, which is kind of a disconnect between the item and the skill build. Like, she took the Inkswell talent, which is great, but if, at this point, you kind of want to have the Inkswell maxed out. Although,
no, Last of the Wilds will be taking some damage. Does have the Diffusal Blade, but she's being a little bit too aggressive. In the end, does get the leap out. White Cool Stranger without the blink, again just running around, not being able to do anything. But look at the Morphling, he turns into a Viper, so he's gonna be dishing out some poison as well for the gang. They know just how dangerous it can be. They have it on their side, so they're gonna chill for now on. But guess what? They have a blink dagger of their own. But Morphling still can get out of the arena. Some of the heroes can't anymore, but the Morphling is still capable of doing so.
Yeah, he goes into the nether realm or something when he turns into water. Doesn't really exist, so he can go through these sort of things. Yeah, just Ano's skill build and item build a bit confusing for me, but making it work so far. Let's look at some of the other heroes as well. Shadow Demon, nothing crazy, just has the arcane boots. Shadow Shaman is going for the Aether Lens, wants to get as much of that cast range as possible. Well, bottom lane lost to the wilds. Oh, she's in trouble. Oh, caught mid leap.
Yeah, that's the second time that's gonna be happening with the Ominous Dash. No chance of survival this time around. Kami will die to the tower damage. 19 minutes into the game, the tier 2 is really hurt. Ano in a bit of trouble. That's the right clicks with the Empower is just so insane. But in the end, Ano does survive now with the ulti onto the Morphling, slowing him down. He's not gonna be killing any more support. The Fallen X comes over with the Stroke of Fate with all of the slows. Fallen X is just dead. Inkswell on the Juggernaut, even if you want to commit, he's gonna get burst in a second and run it down. They understand the dangers. They pull themselves back. They really, really need this Magnus Blink Dagger.
It is coming fairly soon, about 200 gold away. That'll help a lot, but holy crap, is 4DAgang. Like, they are running through them. I mean, run it down. This cannot be good for them. Both of these teams, by the way, this is the best of one. You win, you continue, you stay alive. You lose, you are out of this tournament. No chance to make it for the FSL Elite. So it's a lot, you know. It's a road to 5,000. Winning the tournament also gives you 500 Singaporean dollars. It's a lot. 4DAgang looking very good so far.
And definitely, you know, wanting to compete more. It is also a big deal. Whoever loses now doesn't have a chance to compete in the FSL, at least not in this season. This is the last chance to get to that top 4 through the wild card and run it down. It would feel so bad with, I'd say, solid plays to just be eliminated just after 2 games.
Yes.
Now the smoke.
Oh, Miranda?
Coming out for the gang. She has been silenced up and she will most likely die without not even uttering a word. This Soulbind will be there. They turn around to Rosima, doing a ton of damage, but the Morphling is just dead. He has died in a second. Run it down. They're losing heroes left and right. Ensure the disruption. It will delay the inevitable, but Riza is just too good with a blade. Cuts down the Shadow Shaman, and his spells are not going to be cast for at least 25 seconds.
Morphling just got the Manta, and we saw the Soulbind come out of the Mirana, but still decide to sort of waveform in, gets the Soulbind on her. Very awkward situation right now for Run Down. And 4DAgang, they're like, hey, Roshan, that's a thing. We could just take it. What are you guys gonna do? There is a Magnus with the RP, but your only support is Shadow Demon. That's not a whole ton of damage.
Let's see what they can do. Other heroes are coming back to life. The Shadow Shaman TPing to the tower. The Murana will do the same.
Oh
like
my
Shadow
lord.
was used. The RP, it's gonna be good. But the Roche is not low enough. They still have the healing ward. Where's your damage? Well, you have none now. You're trying to run away from us, but you will not get anywhere with Roshan. Needs the arrow. She could have hit Roshan with her eyes closed. Can she get the Aegis? Yes, she can. Because the Murana is just way too good left to the wilds. This is the time when you actually completely turned the game around. That RP it might not have done much, but it delayed the road. Wise will take it now, going for the Morphling. He'll well form away. He is out. The Fallen X though, same cannot be said about him. The spear misses, but run it down. They've lost 2 already. 2 of theirs die for the 4DAgang, but the big boy was taken by the Murana and the Aegis as well. A beautiful play overall.
Yeah, like that was very risky. That was very risky by Run Down, but they land the good RP and just delays it long enough for Last of the Wild to show up and gets the Aegis for themselves. It's still a bit of a net worth disadvantage though, but it's at least not an Aegis disadvantage. You can at least come back from this.
Murana, I still think that the hero doesn't work as a right clicker.
No.
Whoever you commit on, you're gonna be in so much trouble. So at least now you have 2 lives to work with.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it doesn't feel like she really can do a lot. And she's going for the leap talent, by the way, at level 10. So I imagine she's going to go for attack speed. Yes, she does. That's going to help a lot. You know, when you have an A bonus 80 attack speed once you leap, that's nice. She got the Fusel Blade as well as Yasha. With the Wraithband, the double one in a couple minutes, the Wraithband will give her like what? Oh dear, Kami?
Kami, a bit of trouble surviving. Nice disposer onto the Murana. The spin will come out, and Nada is looking very much that the disruption will delay the inevitable, but they've already taken down the Aegis. It's time to run away. They've gone for the Viper, but it's not going to be good enough because now inside of the arena, they will fight till death like a gladiator. Is not modern, but real live ones. And the Morphling left alone. The buyback from the Shadow Demon isn't enough to save him. He uses the Adaptive Strike. Get away from me. Get away from me, you creep. Now, you will come back. You will get speared. Spear through the water. That's just how good the Mars is. This is why this guy should be at the Olympics now. Q still trying to run away, but you cannot morph any longer, and you will die. Ruzema will be the one to get the kill, a mega kill at that. And the buyback from the Shadow Demon is the only reason that Run It Down have a hero alive now on the map.
You know, one thing I really like when on carries, and one of the reasons why I don't like this game on carries, I like a carry that can take a hit. You know, a Life Stealer, a Juggernaut, a Medusa. Like, I like a carry that can actually take a blow or two. The moment they jump on Mirana, every time she just melts, like, straight away. Like, she just cannot stand it there at all. Juggernaut's got some magic resistance, building into the SNY. You know, just a lot tankier. Also has that health regen. So, sorry, the HP regen with the healing ward. Oh, they do catch someone. This could be a good kill on July. Could they get it?
There's the skewer. They get the hex off,
Whoa.
but the imprisonment, Nada, he saves him. He says, you got safe for the gang. You might not have picked it, but we are gonna be really good to you. We are good to our opponents, and they lose 2 heroes because of it for the gang. Their Viper survives. He wasn't a good target to begin with, but with that disruption, it was pretty sure that the Viper was gonna survive that attempt.
Oh man, Run It Down crumbling in game 2. I mean, yeah, I like their unorthodox draft, but from the start we said 4DAgang, much more standard. You know, a little boring, gotta be honest, a little boring, but better draft. You know, just a bit more standard, easier to execute draft. Run It Down, the carry Mirana it's not working out. The Magnus went for Echo Sabers, the Blink Dagger that really delayed their timing. It just looks everything is going well for them.
To be honest, you know, if the Mirana went for the magic build, the Magnus got an early Blink Dagger, you could play the game. But they put themselves in a position where you pick weird heroes and then you get weird items as well. I think that is a bit too much. And now you're 11k gold behind. But guess what? You still have a Magnus on the high ground. So it's gonna take some time before 4DAgang can actually break the enemy base.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Like if they Magic Mirana, if you throw that arrow out and you get the 3 Starstorm on everyone, that could have really helped. But it's not working. It's just not working out. Oh, Morph
caught. The spear does connect. Will he get the silence off before he gets the morph off? He does have the Manta and gets into the river immediately, following big waves.
Nada?
Big chunks of water. It's a problem. Nada has a disruption. Gonna be using it in 2.5 seconds. He's gonna be in some trouble. Nice X coming out from the Fallen X. He's gonna stop the spear from coming out, but the thing is, he's surrounded by enemy heroes and he's gonna get his teeth broken there. A trip to the dentist is gonna be needed after that Mars just swings his shield.
Even with a relatively like bunch of wasted spells by 4DAgang, you know, they jump on the Morphling, they couldn't get him. They jump on the Shaman, he was able to get his combo off before he dies. Like even then, they still lose 2 people. We'll see if what Down wants to do. They are pretty good at split pushing. They were pretty good at split pushing in the game 1. Oh, the last of wilds. One life comes out, but spotted. They know this. They know this very well.
No. Places a sentry. Oh, they found Riza. They're gonna get the RP off. No, but they get the arrow.
Huge.
Still should be going down. Very nice done. Now Rosima goes in as well. That's not a plate you want to be in. Kami in a pretty bad position as well. But on the high ground, there's a Viper with the double ulti with the soul bind. Gonna stand in their ground and fight the Inkswell. It gets burst off. It's not really gonna be popping, but the Viper is way too strong. No one can threaten her authority right now. Respect her authority. They will not, because she has no BKB any longer. Still stands on the high ground. The arrow will not connect. A little bit of disconnect. They didn't communicate that right. But Tano is still dead. Now what are you gonna do without any BKBs, without any friends? We will kill you. Last of the wilds. Who didn't believe in the right click Mirana? I sure as hell did for sure, because she gets a triple kill out of that fight.
You're one of those fence sitters, aren't you? You just go where the wind blows. You're like, oh well, yeah, it's working. It's getting kills. Therefore, it's the best. But yeah, that all came down to the fact that Magnus, it was very risky. They threw out the RP on a solo Jug, they landed the arrow, they killed him, and then they're like, okay, let's just go. 3 cores on Run It Down, keeping the team's hopes alive. Jug is going to respawn, so is Ana very soon. And there is a double damage ruin bottom lane though, so Run It Down, they can consider going for a tier 1 bottom, see what they go with. There are no ultimates though, the Magnus RP is down, we're very scared about that. Signs of life though for Run It Down. Oh, the DD is gonna go for the Juggernaut, isn't it? That is unfortunate.
I don't know if you noticed, but you know, some of the pro players in Dota, they have their name, and then after it is the name of their girlfriend, or the ones that don't have the girlfriend, it just says girl name. And Riza here, she after her name it says guy name. So do you think there's gonna be like a tournament in the future of guys fighting for their names to be written there next to Riza's?
Yes, I think when you put guy name, you're like, come on, anyone want to sponsor me? You know, any guy want me to have his name right there? I'll do it. I don't mind. So I like it. It's very cool. I just love how she
Looking for the she's looking for the love of her life. We'll see if anyone, to be honest, a lot of men are gonna be intimidated by a girl who's just so good at Dota, because Riza has been having an amazing game on the Juggernaut. We'll see if she can transfer that into a victory, but for now, for the gang, even after a lost fight, it's looking like they're in firm control of this game. They are the ones on the aggressive.
By the way, when you said guy name, I was like, oh, she has like a mic there. That was like, oh, Riza guy name. Like that's the actual word that she has there. So very,
yeah.
I love that. I just love how she's making fun of that. Well, Roshan's gonna be up in 2 minutes. July has also been having an insane game, by the way. BKB, Wraith Pack, Vanguard, very hard to bring down. Also has the ceremonial robe, so all their disables are up by about 10%, which is very helpful for them. Magnus is the only sort of core that's a little bit behind in farm. Ano's kind of close to him, which is insane on this Grimstroke. Position 5 Grimstroke, by the way.
Position 5 Grimstroke, but this Grimstroke has been doing a really good job in the entirety of the game, and in terms of net worth, yeah, he's doing very, very well. Run it down. This Q Morphling is still gonna be very, very dangerous. We talked about the empowering on the Morphling. The hero usually has like 300 damage, so he's gonna be hitting like a truck. Or she's gonna be hitting like a truck. And for the gang, you know, when you look at these heroes, other than the Juggernaut, none of them have high armor.
Well, I mean, the Wraith Pact helps on the Viper, and plus Mars has the Bulwark, which reduces a lot of the magic, a lot of the physical damage coming out from the enemy side. So it's not too bad. Moonlight used as well as Smoke. Where they're gonna go with? They do see this.
Yarrow point blank though, it really doesn't do that much. They're gonna be using the dispose, but the Marana
Nice
isn't
grab.
dying. Removes the silence as well. The Mars has been caught. He uses the BKB, but it's not gonna be enough for Uzima to survive. That's a 6-kill streak going into the hands of Last of the Wilds, and this Marana carry is really starting to do some work. The stun there onto Ano, thinking about breaking some TPs, but the Grimstroke didn't take the bait to go for a TP there onto the high ground. Q though wants to go forward. The crits are coming through.
RP.
July taking some damage. Nice dodge there with the Manta. Your ulti will do nothing, and that BKB, it will expire, but we might kill you even before that, because throwing out an RP is not a problem for us. Run it down. 3 more kills their way. 2 of those being the cores.
And Riza, in the meantime, just pushing mid, and oh, she did not TP. She's spun. She doesn't even have a TP scroll on her. Riza, that's a bit risky. Arrow comes out.
Arrow
Hits the creep. They know. And look who's coming. Fallen on the Shadow Shaman. Looks like though Riza might be able to make it out of here just fine.
would like to get on top of her. Riza though, she's being spotted with the spin, does have a lot of movement speed, so it is not that easy to catch her. Grimstroke on the high ground, they'll get the silence onto the Shadow Shaman, but you're not gonna commit. The arrow connects perfectly onto the Juggernaut. Still the SNY will be there, as well as the Purge from the Inkswell, so not really a chance to get the kill there, but it is some nice sharpshooting skills that this Marana is showing us here.
We went from a 90% chance for 4DAgang taking it, according to the the AI overlords that we don't ever believe in, to a very even game here. Mirana also has the Linkins, which means that she can block the Viper Strike, she can block the Omni Slice. That's really what you want to block if you can, as well as even just the Soulbind if it's thrown on her. So lots of good spells for Linkins. Feels like a really good item this game. Linkins as well as the Lotus Orb.
The Linkins, really strong. Marana skipping the BKB even without it. Last of the Wilds is being able to dish out some damage with the Manta and the Diffusal. The right clicks from the Marana, they're gonna start to hurt, and having the Paladin Sword, it is not the easiest hero to kill, but I still think Arena onto the Marana, it's gonna be very hard to stay alive, because now Maranas cannot jump out of the arena any longer.
Yeah, here we go though. They're going for the Roche play. And last time Rochelle went very nicely for Run It Down. They were able to steal it and the Aegis from 4DAgang. And this time they're just going to bring it down Well, I don't think for the gang are going to be able to make it out in time. Roshan's really going to fall. Are they going to still take the fight? Aria comes out.
Yeah, they're gonna go for the Morphling, but that's just the Aegis.
Three
Even
man
if
RP.
she does die, nice RP though. It's gonna be beautiful. Where's the damage though? With the Morphling being dead, it's not gonna be enough. And now with the Omni Slash, chop, 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 chop. Can he chop enough? Riza has the spin. She wants to go for that one, but is too scared. And now we'll get
Look at
shackled
the
up.
shackle.
That's a long shackle holding him, but the Magnus coming in with the skewer. It's still not gonna be enough. They stop him in his tracks just with the dispose. Take him back. You're not taking our
Another
friends away. The
arrow.
arrow onto the Juggernaut. It's gonna be perfect, but no one on the side of Run It Down is close enough. And now for the gang, it's time for them to chase. That Phantom's Embrace it is in. They know exactly where their enemies are. Ozima, does she have the guts to go in? Turned into a chicken immediately. Bonk, 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 bonk. Oh yeah, you're afraid. No, they're not. They're just turned into a chicken, but a very brave one. And the Morphling will die for the second time in that fight. Last of the Wilds. How much can you do with your carry Mirana right now? The arrow comes out, but without any lead. Last of the Wilds is dead as well. She will get cut down. It's just a matter of time before
charges.
the last survivor of Run It Down loses its life. The Juggernaut will not take her down because this hero knows what it means to be the last of your kind. So he'll leave someone else to get the kill, but it is still a team wipe despite getting the Roche at the start of that fight.
Like Kami bought back. It felt like, honest to God, that Run It Down had some of the best things they could have gotten. They got RP on 3 people. Didn't really matter. They were able to, like, Shadow Shaman got a couple. They got 2 arrows on Juggernaut. 2 arrows on Juggernaut, and not once did she fall. So it's kind of insane for the gang. There's just no high ground, no buyback on the Mirana or the Morphling. This is for Mirana. For the gang, looks like they're just gonna be able to take at least 1 set of racks, maybe even more.
This is the thing, the Morphling died when the RP went off, and then 5 seconds while he was dead with the Aegis, no one could do the damage with the RP being there. You know, he is the main damage dealer, he is the one that finishes them off, and that is the thing. If he gets caught off guard and dies, you don't have the damage. This Mirana, she's just not as strong in terms of killing people fast. You need to use your spells, jump in, jump out, be annoying, and then maybe finish people off in the end. But when it comes to bringing people from 100 to 0, you definitely need your Morphling, and with 6k gold lead for the gang again in control of this game. They haven't taken the Raxes, but the tier 3 will fall for now.
It's kind of surprising that they went back. They had like 15 seconds left on both the Miran and the Morphling, but they're like, let's play it safe. Even though, yeah, a little too safe, but why not? You know, we've seen people lose the game at these high ground pushes. Run It Down. They want to go for it. They still have almost all their ultimates. Moonlight is about to come up. And who they run? They run to July. Not the person you want to kill though. Era comes out. Misses. Oh no!
Oh, that's connected on the Marcy in the back lines, but in the end, they won't be able to get there. But the Morphling, we're
Anna's
seeing
dead.
how much damage Q can do. He needs to use the BKB. Now turns around, the RP is there, but Q is not attacking. If she's not attacking, there's no one else to kill them. The Marcy might die, but it's not going to be enough. That's a Marcy without the buyback. Not a buyback from the Grimstone coming over. They have control of this outpost. Is it chase time? Is it chase time for the gang, or do they just want to farm these wards? It seems like they'll take it easy for now. They don't want to be going in. Ozima has different idea than the rest of her team. They need to remove that Phantom's Embrace, but the Stroke of Fate removed this. They might have killed the wife of the Grimstroke, but he's still gonna use his Brush of Fate to get a kill on the murderers. And now for the gang, they want to go for even more. Going for the tower, the Viper has the shards. It's gonna be a lot of damage taken, but as soon as they see the buyback, they'll play it safe.
Well, I mean, it looked pretty good for Run It Down. They got both the supports, but Grimstroke buys back, and they do lose their Mirana in the end, as well as the Shadow Demon. Sorry, I think you take it. You know, Morphling's the real carry. We've seen Q on this team. Yes, she goes mid, but she's often the real carry. Whereas Last of the Wild is kind of like, oh, you know, she picks carry. She focuses on making space. She's going for a Reaver. Just a casual Reaver. I'm not seeing what else she's building. Does she have an item on the courier, maybe? I'm interested to see what this Reaver's going into.
Yeah. You know, Last of the Wild
Satanic,
is that
I guess?
one friend. You know, Last of the Wild is that one friend that kind of you play 5-stack with, and he's ruining your games. He's playing well, but he's going for weird items, and like, I'm testing you guys to see how good you are. Can you win if I go for a Diffusal, Mantle, Lincoln's Mirana? And the rest of Run It Down are like, no, please don't do it. But
not again.
She's training them. She's training them. Once they get into their pubs, it's gonna be very easy to win, to be honest, because you know you're not gonna have a Mirana with a with these kind of items. You're gonna have a normal carry.
Oh, that's true, right? It's like how you guys feel about playing with like half a carry or sometimes 2 times the worth of a carry. It's you roll the dice with Last of the Wild and you see what you're gonna get with. But yeah, I mean, the Empower is also not that useful on her. Like we talked about how good it is on Morphling, but we don't really have another Empower target. Most of the time, the Mag is just empowering herself, and she's not going for any damage. Just Echo Saber. Uh, Feels like really, and we saw the last fight. She got an RP on 2, Q was running away. And Q is really all your damage with the Daedalus, with the Manta, with the Dragonlance BKB. Like, she can hit.
No, every time that Last of the Wilds picks a hero, the gods toss a coin.
Right?
I know
Targaryen
that's actually
style.
that's actually the story of the Targaryens. Yeah, that does make sense. Though the 2 games that we have watched, both of the builds have been weird. It has been really fun to watch. Yep. Yeah, the madness is here. It seems 100%. But I think Run It Down are having fun. Whatever happens, I think they're having fun, and that is the most important thing. Meanwhile, their comms like, what the hell are you doing? How can you go for those items? Why didn't you go for a magic build right now?
You threw the game. You threw the game. Yeah, we're like, they're probably having fun, but we don't know. Actually, I think our production has access to them, at least like their cameras. They know what because just to see, and maybe they'll tell us after this. They'll be like, no, they were all chilled the whole time, or they'll be like, no, we saw some strangulation going on.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Riza, very farmed, has the Blink Dagger as well. Sanjinyasha, Ayaskadi, Molineer, Diffusal. She is super tanky. Goes for the 500 health talent at level 25, or 75, but whatever. She is just very hard to bring down.
Yeah, almost impossible. Even if you use the RP, you can see that the Morphling doesn't want anything to do with the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut is definitely the ultimate carry here in this game. Sure, the Empower can even out the playing field, but Riza is not to be trifled with. And now having the Blink Dagger, finally one of their axes will fall. It's gonna be the ranged ones. They turn her into a chicken. Where's the Force Staff? Where's the Inkswell? The arrow will not connect, and Riza doesn't care. She just walks towards the bottom lane. Okay, doesn't want to go towards the mid lane. Understandably, you're playing against the Magnus. The Skewer into Gear Force can be dangerous. The RP onto the ground. Those creeps, they will not move. And now go back into the arena. We want to fight there, though they're crushing the Mars here. No one cares about your bulwark. Will break you along with it. Now looking towards the Marcy. Marcy is dead. Even with the RP on the ground, who cares? We can toss it on your creeps when we are this much stronger than you. 4DAgang running away in fear. They're like, yo guys, they use their ulti on nothing and we still can't do anything. Is this really the beginning of the end? But no, it's just the high ground push and Run It Down. They were just in a good position to fight.
A couple of things to note. You Call Stranger is has the ninja gear on her as their neutral item, which is amazing. One for split pushing, and another one is because it makes it so much easier for you to land those good RPs. And very close to the refresher orb as well. And while Last of the Wild, she is hunting for no arrow comes out. Looks like she gets strong, and she did go for the Satanic. So as long as she's not disabled, she turns on Satanic. You get a few hits off, she should be fine. And all of a sudden, Run It Down. Yeah, they're still a bit behind, but they are the ones who get to be the aggressors at this point.
Yep, Run It Down finally get a chance to get towards the opponent's side of the map. The first tier 2 could fall here to the right-click damage of the Morphling, but for now she doesn't want to risk it. It seems like the illusions will do the job themselves, but Q herself isn't gonna be committing for now. It feels too dangerous. Is Anno going for a Aghanim Scepter? I mean, a Dark Portrait here could be quite nice.
No, she's going for the Hex, actually. She already has the Ultimate Orb. She's going up for... which is pretty good. She's getting a lot of these 2-man Soulbinds every time. And while I agree that Dark Portrait is good in this game, Morphling is fine. The rest aren't that amazing. Plus, you want something that does AoE damage like Luna or Medusa. So, Kami jumps in.
Oh, they found the Shadow Shaman. This should be an easy pick-off, really. Not much to think about there. Yep, does have a buyback. 70 seconds on the sidelines, though. 4DAgang would love to force that one out, but still, you have to be aware you're up against the Magnus. The RPs haven't been great, but there were a few that were pretty solid. So if you get a nice RP into the Skewer back on the Juggernaut, okay, a lot of gems there. Did get picked up right under their noses. Run It Down. I'm not sure if they were baiting with those, but if they were, it wasn't really that good of a play.
DD Ruin spawn top, and as well as Roshan. We'll see if they want to go for it. There is a refresher shard. You might give it for Rosima. Just go for that triple arena. Why not? And yeah, they DD Ruin and they just go straight for it. I like what 4DAgang. They realize this. Shasham is down for 25. Not enough time. Has to buy back if they want to go for this.
20 seconds is not gonna cut it because Jugger with the DD and Kami with the Unleash, the Sporosh, he has no idea what's going towards him. These ladies, they didn't came here to play, or they came here to play, but not in a way that the Roche would want, you know. Run it down. They leave the Roche, so now you're gonna have to be dealing with the Juggernaut constantly poking your base. And I like that for the gang. This is some nice presence of mind. You don't want to be pushing in the mid lane just because of the Magnus. It's beautiful. If the Magnus dies, that's when they're gonna be focusing on the melee Raxes there in the mid lane.
Yeah, just applying pressure in basically all the lanes. Meanwhile, Nicole Stranger, she really wants to get this refresher orb. She's trying to save up for it, but we'll see if she can get it in time. And Last of Us also farming on the enemy side of the map, trying to get that at least the Chrysalis on her. There's 2 couriers on the Dire Secret Shop. We'll see if Last of the Wild can get them.
BKB, Rosima jumps in. OQ makes a mistake, doesn't get away from Mod, but just uses the BKB and says, fight me. Why are you running away? Fight me. Oh no, that's Mars' line, but he's still, the Mars runs away. He's not going to be able to fight Morphling. The tower does go down though, so at least some space was created. Lisa gets an arrow, shot in the face, and now the adaptive strike as well. Rosima jumps in again, that's the second arena, but doesn't get the BKB off. Sure, you have the refresher, but you needed that BKB as well. Riza on the Ghost Scepter. Nice Ghost Scepter. The Fallen X will be okay for now. Force Staff keeping him alive. Riza has the Aegis, but you don't want to be losing it under the tier 4. Still Riza spins and doing so much damage, but will die. We still have the RP. Let's see if the Magnus can survive. The Unleash will be there. The Horn Toss, he throws them behind, but the triple arrow throws out. It's gonna be a triple kill, and with the RP now you all die. Where's the Rampage? They take it away from Q. He's not even, or she's not even gonna get an ultra kill, but 4DAgang will get wiped out. They go super aggressive, something that Run It Down did in the previous game. Now their opponents are gonna do the same thing.
How do they do it every time? You know, by the way, Morphling did all the damage, 12,000 damage. The nearest was the Mirana with like 3,000. You know, but you were talking about Breaking Bad. It's just like they say, how do they keep getting away with it? Like, what is... Fallen is amazing, by the way. Every time they jump, she always catches the Mars with a Hex, always interrupts her combo, and just looks so good in this game. No buyback, but 2 of the cores. Grimstark does buyback, could kind of delay it a little bit with a couple of good strokes of fate, but this mid-rax is in danger.
Yeah, it definitely is, and the Morphling is... no, Morphling not coming over. Yeah, okay, Run It Down, they definitely enjoy playing this game. There's no doubt about it. You can see Last of the Wilds using the triple arrow. Why could Stranger think about going in for the Horn Toss into a skewer? That would make sure that Thanos goes down, but they have no vision to place down. Even without the Morphling though, they finish off the Raxes and are going for a tier 2 on the top lane. 20 seconds until the Juggernaut is back. I'm thinking no more Raxes will be falling in the base of 4DAgang, at least not before the next fight.
A smart of Run It Down though to take the Morphling top. They knew they had enough damage to get the mid-rax. They're like, if they buy back, we're not gonna take it anyway. If they don't buy back, we're gonna get it, no, regardless of like how the Morphling's there or not. So they push the tier 2, which opens it up later, so they can take that one if they want to push a lane. So I like what they did there with the split up. And my God, there's double Satanics on Run It Down, which we talked about before. But the double waveform on Morphling, along with the talent, means that he just does so much damage just waveforming into people.
Yeah, Satanic plus the waveform, he's gonna be back to full no matter how much HP is missing. And 4DAgang, they've had enough of sitting in their base. There's a DD on the bottom lane. If the Morphling gets that, it's gonna be a disaster. But the Mirana herself is quite good with the damage too. They use the scan. They know their enemies are in the triangle and Run It Down. They don't feel comfortable taking that part of the map. But 4DAgang, still smoked up. They're trying to search for something going up the hill. It's never gonna be easy. They place the ward with Kami. Ah, there's a Lincolns. You're not gonna be grabbing stabbing everyone. Last of the Wilds.
Riza?
She just got too big. And now
Holy.
slowing down Riza. Look at the crits. The crits are insane. Riza
Oh.
thinking about the omelets and she's not
Oh.
gonna be using it. Riza, what are you doing? Thinking about going in, but no, it just ends up in a disaster. The 94 seconds on the sidelines. This should be enough time for Run It Down to maybe even end this game.
Yeah, getting Mega will be a little bit hard. They're gonna have to send someone bomb, but they have time. They have all the time in the world, and they throw the stakes. They know they can get to the top. Dire Fortify is used, but how close is he? He's very far from a buyback. She doesn't have it at all. She's only got 400 gold in the bank.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yep, using all of your money, throwing it away.
Oh.
Seems to not be good at finances there on the side of 4DAgang. And let's see what will Run It Down do. Are they gonna force the issue?
Nice.
Will they go
What? That didn't
for the
land.
tier 4s? The spear doesn't land, but the burn is still
Walk
hurting.
back
The last
the
of the
arrow.
while still the arrow does
Walk
connect.
back
There's
the
triple
arrow.
arrows, 2 of them connected. Oh, they make a mistake there with the horn toss, but the axe will be enough with the damage. They break down the Mars is back. She can still fight. Let's see, the arena is still active as well as the BKB. They can go in if they want to. 10 seconds until the Marcy is back.
Okay,
Not buying
here we
back though.
go.
There's the arena going for the Magnus. It is gonna connect, but can they finish him off? It seems like no. She's gonna be fine for now, especially with the
Can't
Glimmer
be
Game
given
and the shots
time.
on the backlines. July is surviving. Rosima, Binkswell will be there. Another arena, another BKB. They're trying to kill the Morphling. Not gonna be happening. Rosima needs to leave her arena. She's not fighting this one, but
10
the
seconds
arrow
for
and
Judge.
the RP come back into that arena and fight if you're a real gladiator. But Rosima immediately dies, so that's running
5
away.
seconds.
She knew they needed to do it. They're going for the
Ah,
throne.
it's not
They're
enough.
not waiting for the Juggernaut.
Not enough.
They're not having fun any longer. They want to end it right now. No, they want to fight. Juggernaut comes in with the Omelet Sash, goes to the side. It's going to be a lot of damage. The supports are dying. Everyone is dying. What are you doing? There it is. They have to focus on the throne right now. No, Q. She wants to assert dominance. She wants to show we're not going to go for the cowardly move. We're going to kill you all before we end this game. Is it the smart move? Because this Juggernaut is doing so much damage as well. With the Unleash, punch her in the face and she is dead. They all have buybacks, but the throne is still alive. You want to mess with us? Well, you can't do it. They'll stay in this game and Run It Down. If they lose it right now, it's gonna feel pretty bad for them after they're messing around with 4DAgang. They could have ended it, but they wanted to assert dominance and they just couldn't do it. Riza is too strong.
We might have to see all 4 buybacks that come out very soon. But that was kind of awkward as hell. Like, they had the advantage. They could have gone straight for the throne. You look at the throne, barely has any HP left. It was down to like maybe, I don't know, 1,000 HP at some point. But they were like, nope, we want to get the kill. Want to be gladiators, as you said, but it cost them. And if they go for the throne themselves, they can force buybacks. I'll see for the guy being smart. They say, oh no, they're going to go for the throne. They're going to force buybacks here.
Is under attack.
Yeah, they're trying to force the buybacks. They know the second lane of Rax is too
No,
much
no.
for them. Buyback from the Mirana. The arrow flies over. It's not gonna connect on anyone. The 3 buybacks
Kami?
comes out. The Morphling doesn't want to be doing it. Kami is dead, but the Juggernaut will get herself away.
3
Riza
buybacks.
does survive for now. But the chases, they are on. Last of the Wilds wants to make something happen for the gang. With those buybacks, they now have a win condition. Kill 2 of those buyback heroes, especially the Magnus and the Mirana, and you should be able to end the game.
I thought for a second 4DAgang would go top, get more Raxes rather than like play for the buybacks. Just have that map advantage. But they went for the throne, which is still they wanted to get the buybacks out. They did, and losing. Yeah, you get 3 buybacks. That's great, but you also lost your Kami for 2 minutes when she died. Roshan's going to be pretty long, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And by the way, 4,000 gold advantage for the team that just got team wiped and had to buy back 3 people. Like, how crazy is that?
I have to say, these girls are genius at marketing, female Dota, just not as popular right now, and like, we're gonna make it popular by making these games super interesting. That is just genius, they could have ended it, but it would have been such a boring way for the game to end. Yeah, we come in, we hit your throne, who cares? But just fighting till death, fighting until the last woman standing is gonna be their name of the game, and the arrow now connects there onto Ano, and look at this. They're going in for the kill with all the right clicks. It should be enough to get a kill, and Ano is dead without the buybacks, and now they're going for the throne. Now they've done with the marketing. They want to end this right now because Q, she wants to win. She wants to continue competing. They made it a bit spicy, but in the end, they showed who's boss.
Holy crap, I cannot believe that went that way. They're just absolutely impressive performance by both teams. Run It Down You know, they played with their food a little bit. Gotta admit, they played with their food a little bit, but in the end, it didn't matter. They still took the game. Look, if you look by, I want to look at that graph. If you look at the graph in the game, it's just up and down all over the place. My heart, I can't take it anymore. I feel like Fallen really deserves MVP in that game. You know, she, as the Shadow Shaman, she was able to catch RR so many times. She was able to always control the Mars in these fights. At the same time, we saw Riza on the Juggernaut just absolutely carry her team. Wasn't enough. And Run It Down stays alive in the lower bracket for the gang. You know, they had a great game, but unfortunately their time with us is cut short. And we'll miss them, you know? And that was such a good game.
It definitely was, and I agree with you with the Fallen X MVP. You know, every single player on the side of Run It Down made some mistakes in this game. I feel like the Fallen X, she did everything she should have,
Yes.
and also her spell usage was also on point. Sure, there were some small mistakes, but those happen in Dota all the time. But you know, Magnus, some RPs onto the ground, the Morphling losing her life a few times, Shadow Demon a few bad disruptions, Mirana. I mean, if anyone would want to put the MVP onto the Mirana with this kind of a right-click build, it's probably not going to happen. So that leaves us with the Fallen X, who, I mean, she really had a great game. Someone will look at the score and be like, what are these casters talking about? But this girl can play, and she proved it in this game.
Yeah, it was an amazing performance, honestly, by all of them as well. Like, for the gang as well as Run It Down. I believe we're going to stick to the lower bracket. We're going to go watch Run It Down for the next game as well. We're going to stick with, you know, see their journey, see how long it goes with them. They'll be up against Chicken Court in the next game. And yeah, we are halfway through. We're going to cast 4 games today. We're halfway through. The winner of this tournament will make it all the way to the FSL Elite all-women tournament. They're going to join Roar, OO, as well as Red Horse. But we're going to take a bit of a break. Everyone deserves a break after that game, especially Run It Down. So we're going to be back to you guys in hopefully maybe 20 minutes. We'll see you guys in a bit.